Open Your Eyes is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And it's a beautiful Tuesday morning, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's lovely outside. It's lovely on the inside for me. So I'm excited to be here this morning.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning, as we mentioned. I took the drive here this morning, and I couldn't help but notice that it felt a little bit cooler than it usually has been for the past few weeks. I'm hoping that that is a result of the temperatures changing for a more permanent period, especially since we're now in the rainy season, and you would know that we have also been experiencing and enjoying some showers of blessings as well.
I think we're anticipating some rain. If it's not later this week, perhaps it's early next week. I'm not the meteorologist, and so we're going to wait for that segment of the show to get that, but definitely having my fingers crossed in hopes of some rain.
Absolutely. But what we have been observing so far is an amazing game played with our U18 boys currently in Argentina. You would know, Paul, we had a couple of them on set just about a week before they left. And they've turned up since they arrived in Argentina. I heard we had our first win.
I think all of our eyes were glued on our TV screens, our computer monitors yesterday as Belize under-18 national basketball team took on Brazil's U18 national team in the AmeriCup tournament in Argentina. This was quite a surprising win for Belize, I'll tell you that much, Sabrina. Not that I expected anything less in terms of these guys going out there and playing, leaving their hearts out on the court, playing with the sort of determination and passion that Belizeans play in small scribbles, in small games, just on the court in their neighborhood. That's a level of determination that these guys brought on the court in Argentina yesterday, and of course we secured the win, 106 to 102, and we have an interview to share with you all this morning. This is with Jacob Leslie, who's the president of the Belize Basketball Federation.
Now he's currently in Argentina.
He's currently in Argentina along with the coaching staff, etc. Now, just to be clear, we tried to get a couple of the players, but these guys have their heads in the game. They're preparing for a next game today. As soon as they finished the game last night, they went back to the hotel to get something to eat, to get some rest, and bright and early this morning for us, which is like 3 hours ahead for them, so they're like 9:30-ish right now. They're in practice, preparing for today's game. So we couldn't secure an interview with them, but we got second best. You're not second best, Mr. Leslie. You're the best. But we got Mr. Leslie, the president of the Belize Basketball Federation, who is with them. And here's that conversation and how that went.
Proud. I think I share the sentiments that I think most Belizeans are sharing at the moment, where the young men went out and made us proud. I mean, we just defeated the number 11th ranked country in the world in junior basketball, and Belize as an unranked country is historic for us. And that's what the sentiment felt in the stadium, and from all the teams that are participating. They understood what they saw today, and what they saw today was historic. An unranked team defeating the number 11 ranked team in the country. So it's a feeling of joy. It's reassurance. I had belief in these guys that they would come out here and make Belize proud, and they did it on the first night.
How is it that Belize is unranked in a tournament like this or a league like this?
With FIBA ranking point, you get ranking points based on participation, right? So the more games you play, the more ranking points you earn, and Belize just doesn't play enough to gain the amount of points to get rankings. So if you know, like the last time this junior team played was a year ago, these other countries are playing multiple tournaments throughout the year. And the more you play, whether you win or lose, you get ranking points. So the reason Belize is unranked is simply because we just don't participate consistent enough to gain these type of points.
What do you think is the statement that today's win made in this tournament?
I mean, everybody thought Belize was coming here to be the punching bag, right? We are I think, the only unranked team in this entire competition. So everybody believe that, they're marking down wins when they see Belize on the schedule. I think that today everybody woke up and say, all right, they gotta come play, because Belize is here to play. And I told everyone when I became the president of the Basketball Federation that when we go out, we're not going to participate. We're going to compete. I'm not saying we're going to win, but we come out and we're going to compete, and we're going to make sure Belize recognizes the talent we have, and they are proud with the results of these young men. And I think tonight is just an example of that.
What was the key to winning today's game?
I think it was belief. I think the guys never saw Brazil as a country who has 215 million and we have even 400,000. They went in there thinking this is basketball and we are good and we can compete. And I thought that was the difference. Many times you have these young men come out to these competitions in these climates, in these environments, and they're overwhelmed. They feel they don't have the resources, they don't have the same competitive advantages and different things. But these young men believed in themselves, and they played that way from the time the whistle blew until it ended. They believed in themselves, and they proved themselves right tonight.
You guys have 2 big games coming up in the next 2 days. I believe you play the USA and then you play Argentina. What is it that we must be able to repeat to conquer those 2 teams?
I mean, we are vastly undersized when it comes to these types of competitions. USA and Argentina are huge teams. They have a lot of size. Brazil again tonight had a lot of size, and we saw that impacted us in regards to their rebounding and their offensive rebounds that kept them in the game. And so the guys just gotta be tighter on defense, be better on defensive rebounding, boxing out. And I think they'll be fine. Like I said, we sat and we watched the USA and Argentina game just now, and again, that's what we saw. We saw a lot of size. We didn't see anything other than that intimidates us. But we know we gotta be better. We gotta be more crisp. We gotta be more disciplined with the ball. And the guys gotta play a perfect game. That's the truth. That's the fact. When you play teams like USA, who's the number one ranked team in the junior basketball, and you're unranked, you gotta play a perfect game. And the guys are prepared for the task.
Mr. Leslie, all the best to you and the team over there going forward.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and we want to encourage Belize to stay behind these young men, keep encouraging them, stay positive, and all the negative criticism are not what these young men right now. They need the support of their country behind them. So thanks for all those who are supporting us, and we will continue to make you proud.
And so that was Jacob Leslie, the president of the Belize Basketball Federation. A couple of things he said there, Sabrina. Well, there's a lot of things he said, but one is the fact that Belize went into this tournament unranked.
Yes.
Right? And they defeated the 11th ranked team in the world when it comes to junior basketball.
I want to know though, what does it mean to be unranked?
So you would have heard him explain in the interview that being unranked is simply, from his perspective and his explanation, because we don't play enough games to receive a ranking, unlike Brazil and these other teams who plays enough games to receive this level of ranking. And so they are ranked 11th, but it's just a label that perhaps doesn't clearly define the talent on a team, as can be seen here with this win. Belize won over Belize, an unranked team, won over a team that is ranked 11th across the world in junior basketball. So that's one thing. But that means then that Belize wasn't the favorite to win this game or even to put up any sort of competition in this tournament, and yet here we are making a statement in the first game saying, hey, we're here to play basketball.
Yeah.
And so either you come on this court to play basketball, or you tuck your legs, you tuck your tail in between your legs, and you leave this basketball court with a loss. And so for me, that's my takeaway. This win leaves a statement on the court for the rest of the games ahead. Today they play against the US. That game is at 2:40. And then tomorrow on Wednesday they play against Argentina. That game is a bit later in the evening. I believe that's at 5:40, and this is Belize's time compared to Argentina's time. They are 3 hours ahead. And so we really just want to say congratulations to the team and all the best moving forward. All of Belize here and in the diaspora are behind you guys, and we're rooting for you 100%, especially the family here on Open Your Eyes.
Absolutely. Well, we do have one more topic that we want to jump into, and this one has been creating quite a buzz on social media as well as of yesterday, Paul, and that's because the price of bread has gone up. Now, this has been something that we spoke about, I think, earlier last year as well. There were conversations about bread possibly going up, and of course that brought about quite an interesting conversation from both the consumer side, but as well as persons making bread, the bakeries. Now they're saying that the reason for this price jump is because of supplies. It's not the same as it used to be, and also packaging. So you were able to do a story yesterday, Paul, to speak to bakers, but also consumers and even vendors, the ones selling these breads, and also a representative from the ministry as well. Let's talk about what this now means for consumers.
It now means that we have to pay, from a consumer standpoint, 35 cents more for a pack of 16-ounce bread. A lot of people might say, well, that's not a lot, but if you add the 35 cents a day at the end of the week, you're talking about $1 or $2 more that you're spending on a pack of bread, a 16-ounce bread. Now, some people refer to the 16-ounce bread as the poor man's bread. It's really the cheapest option for breads that you find on the grocery shelves across the country. There are other types of breads. These are the special breads, the special loaves.
And those also saw a price increase as well, correct?
Those are made with a bit more ingredients in them. So they've always come at a higher price.
Right.
If you're willing to pay that higher price, you're talking about $2.50, $3, $3.50.
So what are the types of breads that you're referring to in this instance?
Well, this is the 16-ounce bread specifically.
Right.
Right? So this is it right here. So what we're seeing on the camera right now, the 16-ounce bread, this pack with the clear bag, as well as the pack with the red, that's the 16-ounce bread. That's the one that has increased by 35 cents. So it goes up to $2.10 for retail price. So you go in the grocery store, you're paying $2.10. Now for wholesalers, this is the price that affects wholesalers the most, the wholesale price. So for you, and you would understand that, because for wholesalers, they used to sell it wholesale for $1.50.
Right.
Now with the 35 cents increase, they're selling it for $1.85. And so they're making 35 cents more. But of course, the grocery store does not observe that cost. That cost goes to the consumer, goes to the customer. And that's why we're paying 35 cents more. Now, the argument from the bakers are that the arguments, one of the main ones, is that this has been the price for 16-ounce bread since 2008.
Wow. So
that is, if you do your maths, that's almost 20 years, according to them, since the price of this 16-ounce bread has changed. They're saying that the cost of packaging has increased, the cost of fuel has increased for the vehicle, which impacts the cost of delivery.
Generally inflation.
Right, so the cost of the LPG gas, the cost of flour, the cost of sugar, all the main ingredients have increased. And you have to want to understand their perspective, you know, that this has in fact increased, and that as a business, you can't underprice your products because then you're operating at a loss. So you have to want to understand them on one perspective. On the other perspective, you also have to hear out the consumers'
You
thoughts.
did an interview with an individual that said, let's get a moment of silence for the bread that's now increased. And he took that moment of silence and he said, all right, and he spoke about it. And I thought to myself, wow, the different perspectives that we're getting. You spoke to an individual that said that he would purchase bread every day because it's the cheaper alternative to making food. And now he has to budget in that extra few cents to make up for something that he would need to purchase every day.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you go to the grocery store, it's not only the bread increase that you're feeling the increases on several other products. And so now you have to factor in that additional 35 cents to purchase your bread after you factored in 10 cents more here, 15 cents more there, 20 cents more there, and long before you know it, you have to carry $2 extra to the grocery store to get what you would normally get for $2 less. And that's the difficulty, that's the challenge that consumers are facing at this time. Now the supplies control unit, control of supplies, told us yesterday that this was not done arbitrarily, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with the supplies control unit. If you want to point fingers at anybody, then the one will ultimately decide if prices will increase and at what rate it will increase. And they decided, and yesterday we were informed that the decision was taken based on extensive research. Like these bakers came in and they gave all the data. They provided all the information, and initially they were requesting a 75 cents increase.
Wow.
Now you could imagine it going up by 75 cents, which they said would be sufficient to not only break even, but to increase their profits a little bit. And ultimately they ended at 35 cents. And so that's basically the overview of what's happening with the bread. And I know a lot of Belizeans aren't necessarily interested in all the explanations, because all they're thinking is, man, I have to find 35 cents more, and tin sausage already gone up, and I already have to find 20 cents more for that.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking of individuals that use bread for other businesses, like persons who may sell sandwiches. Will that also increase now because the prices of bread has gone up?
Question.
And of course, you would know that it's not only the 16-ounce bread that is now experiencing this price jump. There are other loaves like I believe there's the burger bread.
Hot dog bread,
polvorón. What's polvorón?
Polvorón, that's how you call it, the hard time biscuit.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I only know about hard time biscuit. I don't know for it.
You're not from that bracket.
No, that's not what I meant. Anyways, moving though into another topic that is currently trending a bit, and this was one that we also spoke of a few years ago. I believe our colleague Isani Cayetano did a story about 2 years ago where he touched on what the hemp industry would look like if it's given the activation that it needs. Now, he did an interview with an individual that was trying to establish a hemp farm. Now, the reason why we're talking about this, Paul, is because there seems to be conversations about the resurgence or the reactivation of a hemp committee of sorts that would look into what it would take to establish this industry in Belize. What are the benefits? Of course, the pushbacks that it would come with. We do know that the churches had their own say about this industry and how it would impact the country. But we're also having this conversation because the government is saying that it's an opportunity for economic growth. There's an opportunity for us to also look in at the medicinal benefits of hemp as well. So I wanted to know what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, I appreciate the resurgence of this group. I think that it happened early in this administration's term, and then it seems to just have dropped dead in the water. There were a lot of hopes and discussions around the new jobs that this could create, employment opportunities, and the generation of revenue that it could bring to the country, and then it just seemed to vanish.
Yeah.
And so
And perhaps that was because of the pushback that,
well, there was
came
a
with
pushback more from marijuana, but perhaps it was all just jumbled in one.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the misconceptions that people have. They seem to bond it together as the same thing.
Right.
And this story that Isani did a
clear
few years
difference.
ago really outlined the difference between both of them. So I'm hoping that this would create a broader conversation since we're now looking at this committee essentially trying to find ways of how this industry would grow in Belize. I think it would be interesting.
You would be surprised to know the amount of hemp-derived products that are on the local market right now and produced right here in Belize.
Yes.
And I'm not only talking about those small businesses that may use some sort of oil or stuff like that.
There's hemp oil, there's hemp flour.
Right, but I'm also talking about you have some manufacturers that seem to mass produce some hemp-derived products at whatever scale that may be on a grand level, but enough to supply at least a tourism market and with these sort of products for health benefits, etc. So it's good to see that this committee has been revitalized to kind of tackle this sector once more under the new growth industries ministry.
I think what also stood out to me from that story that Isani did was the fact that hemp can also be used not only for consumption purposes, but for other things like textile. And that's something that I never really gave thought to until now. I know that we don't really have a real booming textile industry here in Belize, but I think it brings about opportunities of ways that you can touch on different areas of business. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Will this committee now starting back up, does it mean that we're going to be seeing something be established perhaps later on next year? It's going to be a conversation I think we'll be having more of. But that does it for our What's Buzzing conversation, Paul. We do got to move, though, into the rest of our show, and that means now we're jumping into our eye-opener. Of course, our eye-opener is your daily dose of morning motivation, and it's taken from dailyam.com, and it goes like this. Love exists to be expressed, not withheld. It's easy to take our feelings for granted and to assume that the people we care about know how we feel about them. But while those we love are often quite cognizant of our feelings, saying, "I love you," is a gift we should give to our loved ones whenever we can. Letting people know you love them is an important part of nurturing any kind of loving relationship. It can be difficult to express your love using words, particularly if you grew up around people that never express their affection verbally. But you should never be afraid to say "I love you," or worry that doing so will thrust you into a position of excessive vulnerability. It is important to share your feelings with those that matter to you. Part of the fulfillment that comes with loving someone is telling them that you love them. Besides, love exists to be expressed, not withheld. If you love someone, let them know. Don't be afraid of the strength of your emotions or worry that your loved one won't feel the same way. As each of us is filled with an abundance of love, there is never any worry that you'll run out of love if your expression of love isn't said back to you. Even though it may not always look that way, love from the heart is an offering that is always unconditional and given without strings attached. That is the true essence of the gift of "I love you."
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely eye-opener this morning. I'm hoping you were able to take something from it to be used for your daily life or just for today. Moving now, though, into our weather update. Hopefully we love that too, Paul. And of course, as we've been mentioning, it's feeling a little bit cooler, but we're going to be getting that official update from the folks at the Met Service.
Good morning. Warm and mostly dry weather will continue today and tomorrow. The 24-hour forecast is for mostly sunny and warm conditions today, but hot inland this afternoon and partly cloudy skies tonight. Little or no rain is expected. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to southeast at 5 to 15 knots, and the seas will be light chop. Maximum temperatures today will be around 91 degrees Fahrenheit over coastal areas, 101 inland, but only 84 degrees up in the mountains. A heat alert for inland areas will likely go into effect by midday. The outlook is for continuing mainly fair and warm weather on Wednesday. Then isolated showers develop over the south Wednesday night. There is a high tide at 7:37 this morning, a low at 3:07 this afternoon, another high 9:28 tonight, and another low at 2:09 tomorrow morning. The sun rose at 5:17 this morning and will set at 6:25 this evening. The moon goes down at 4:50 this evening and comes up again at 4:15 tomorrow morning. In the fire risk forecast, the risk for forest and brush fires continues high today. In the tropical weather outlook for the North Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
I see some rain.
I did.
I see some rain. That's good news. I'm hoping that for areas that were heavily impacted by the forest fires, they can be the ones that experience these showers as well. Moving though into our show lineup, we have 3 great conversations to look forward to. Starting things off, it's all about compliance and how to avoid fraud.
And in our second segment, we will be talking about Fisherfolk Month, which is the month of June. And the theme for 2024 is Leave No One Behind in Building an Enabling Environment for Our Small-Scale Artisan Fisheries.
All right, and in our last segment, this one's for you mango lovers, speaking to myself, and that's because it's the countdown to Mango Fest 2024. You want to stay tuned to find out what we're expecting this year. But Paul, we got to take our first break, and when we come back, it's all about compliance to you and how you can avoid fraud. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Littleville Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added on for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix add-on for only $28.13 more. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Welcome back, guys. We're having our first conversation this morning, and as we mentioned, it's all about Compliance U, but the U in Compliance U, and of course, ways that you can avoid fraud. We have here with us a representative of Compliance U to talk to us about it. And his name is Robin Vernon. Hi, Robin. How you doing?
Great to be here. A little bit tired, but good.
Oh, that's fine. We'll wake you up. Now, when we're talking compliance, I think we oftentimes think of bigger businesses and ways they are trying to avoid scammers and persons infiltrating their private information. But let's talk about compliance and the importance for everyone, including our viewers that are tuning in at home, and why it's important for them to know about the importance of compliance.
That's a great point that you touched on. Usually when people think about compliance or people think about doing background checks or due diligence, they almost always see it as being on the company's behalf.
Yeah.
But what people fail to realize is this is something that should be standard for both businesses as well as your average regular person like yourselves and myself. No offense.
And that's where the U comes in, a little bit more singular.
Exactly. So the main point of this conversation is to speak on the clear and present issues that people are facing almost daily, but they're almost not always reported, right? So what's one of the most usual places you would see issues like this happening in Belize's day-to-day life? Facebook, right? Usually in buy and sell, usually in marketplace. I think everybody at this point already used to this in one of the videos where somebody just say, oh my goodness, I want to buy this phone from this person, but unfortunately they took the phone but they never got the money, and you know what I mean, like these transactions fell through.
This is specifically referring to cybercrime, correct? Or
in this particular instance, yes, but there's always different ways that it can happen. Usually it happens, well, it's really tied to any form of monetary transaction. That's usually where the scams tend to take place. The platform isn't so much important so much as the main issue itself, which is just how you end up getting jilted, right? So in Belize specifically, I feel like based on the way how these issues have been happening, Facebook is just a prime platform for people to use to conduct these crimes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the victims are none the wiser to what's happening. I mean, you want to believe that the person that you're doing business with is a trustworthy person. You want to believe that your transaction is going to be well taken care of, that the money is going to be in your hands and that the product's going to be exchanged. But more often than not, that doesn't end up being the case. You've seen issues, like I said before, people purchasing phones. You've seen it on larger scales where people are trying to purchase automobiles, and then those issues are happening. Then from the business standpoints, you saw the hotel getting jilted out of thousands of dollars worth of service and food and all that. And all of these things, for one way or another, could have been avoided had the people done proper background checks on who it is they're doing these businesses with. One of the things that they try to encourage people to do is they try to encourage the regular civilian for when you're doing these transactions, whether it be $100, whether it be $1,000, is just ask the person for identification. Something as simple as social security, driver's license, passport, whatever the case may be. Usually that could be your first line of defense, and it's actually a very strong and effective form of first defense.
I agree.
Because that would be a red flag, wouldn't you think? You wanting to do business with this person, them wanting to do business with you, but all of a sudden the entire transaction's put on halt when you ask for identification.
What if I say, well, you know, Rob, I don't have my social security card around me right now.
Well, that's fine, sir, but you're supposed to at least have your driver's license.
I don't drive. I'm just trying to devil's advocate.
No, but the thing is, at least you're asking the questions. At least you're giving this person an opportunity to present these identifications to you.
Yeah.
Should they not have, should they, whatever the case may be, then fine. Now the ball's in your court to do one of many things. Maybe you can put the deal on halt until they get the identification. Maybe you yourself could go, okay, so they don't have that. This could be an opportunity where Compliance U comes in, because you can always reach out to them at their number, 634-4167, and you can actually inquire with them that they do a proper background check on this person for you.
Before you continue, Mr. Vernon, let's take a step back.
Sure.
And talk a bit about Compliance U International. What is it? Who is it that this organization? Let me do some identity check here. Tell me a bit about Compliance U International and what is it that you guys do over there?
So the International and Compliance U, just to get it out the way one time, is that the International doesn't mean that they're an outsider providing a service here. They're actually a domestic-based company. The International just means that while they're geared towards providing this service for the domestic Belizean, they can also provide services to businesses abroad looking to achieve the same service, right? Compliance U has been around for a little over a year now. They're an independent organization, which is actually a strong benefit for anyone looking to utilize their service, because this means that they cannot be influenced by any outside source. You can rest easy knowing full well that whatever background checks or due diligence you would require from them would be 100% in your best interest.
So you can reach out to them, like create a couple scenarios that would require an individual reaching out to seek services from Compliance U.
All right. Well, we can touch right on the nitty-gritty. So financing, right? So let's say you're selling your car. Let's say you feel like your car is valued $15,000. Now you work hard.
Yeah.
You put all your money into this vehicle. You fix this vehicle. You maintain this vehicle, and now you're willing to sell this vehicle. You got somebody who come to you and tell you, I could take that vehicle off your hand. I have, what are the usual Belizean thing? I have 12,000 cash right now.
Best offer.
Best offer. Take it to it easy, right? 12,000. Now the thing is, anybody would jump at it because it's still a lot of money and it's there and it's in your face, right? Now naturally, you being, well, I'm not gonna say that you're desperate, but what I'm gonna say is,
wanting the car sold.
Yeah, you could do it as fast as possible. So maybe this already is enticing you, right? Most people would tend to just want to start to get the transaction going. Other people would be like, I'm a little bit skeptical. It's that skepticism that starts to get that ball rolling. So what you would be able to do is you would get that person's first and last name. You can even do the standard thing in the beginning. You can ask them for their identification and see if they provide it. But if you want to go further than that, you can reach out to Compliance U and provide them the information that you received from this person. And you can ask them if they can do a simple due diligence check on this person. Based on the information that they find, you'll be informed on whether you should move forward with doing this transaction or whether you should just kind of play it safe and just say, you know what, bro, I know that you really want it, man, and not 12,000 enticing, but I'll have to just check with somebody else.
What is it that a due diligence check reveals about a person?
That depends on the nature of what the person's let's say involved in. Let's just do it that way. They're not just gonna do a simple like Facebook background check and just kind of start. No, they're gonna look up any form of article or any form of information that can reveal certain experiences or certain situations tied to this person in the past or entity. Because again, it's not just about individuals, it's also about businesses, because this is the other side of that now as well. Businesses also create these long-standing business relationships with other organizations, other entities, and it's in that business's best interest as well to want to ensure that their reputation, that their assets, and that their work body are well taken care of as well. These are more intricate, of course, because now you're looking up corporations, you're now looking up organizations. And One thing though, as I was giving this explanation, that I feel is important for people to understand is that compliance only works as well as individuals make these reports. Because this person or this entity could be tied to, let's say, not so good things. But had it not been reported or has it not like ever been discussed, then it's going to be clean. One of the responsibilities that you, Sabrina, and myself, that we all have is that we should ensure that we report any form of malpractice in any regard, because this helps future people from avoiding the same situation.
So there's a reliance on data that's already out there on the web of an individual.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
I want to look at compliance on a larger business scale, and I think you already alluded to it, of the benefit of having an independent company like Compliance You assisting with due diligence. Let's touch on that a little bit more, because I'm here thinking of, for example, banks. They would also have their own compliance department. Let's talk about how Compliance You or an independent business like Compliance You could ensure that compliance of a company is better.
I wouldn't be able to say if it's better or not, because the idea is to just ensure that the service that you're requesting is at the top of what you need. Whether it be from a financial institution like a bank or whether it be from an organization like Compliance You, the idea is you as the person requiring this service just wants to know that you're going to be in the best hands. I can't speak on financial institutions because they have a lot of different responsibilities and not just due diligence and not just compliance. They have an entire department dedicated to this, so I have no doubt that those institutions would do a great job at doing due diligence checks. Compliance You is specifically geared towards that goal, is specifically geared towards ensuring that they provide the utmost service in due diligence checks and background checks. So basically it's like one person has 5 different responsibilities. They're going to ensure that they meet all those responsibilities. One company is geared towards one specific goal. So you as the service requester can decide which you would more want to put your money on.
Yeah, and so I would imagine that with a due diligence check, you'll find things such as if this person has been involved in any sort of illicit activities in the past, if maybe they've scammed somebody, if perhaps they have a record of some sort that shows that they've spent some time behind bars for something or the other. Perhaps maybe complaints on social media as well. How far does this search really go?
And that is exactly the question. It can range anywhere from a disgruntled previous person wanting to do business with this person saying, you know, I can't trust this, but I don't know, because I don't got my money.
Right, something simple on Facebook.
Yeah, it can start with something as simple as that, and it can go all the way up to illicit activities that ended up resulting in time behind bars. It really ranges, and that's the thing that people don't realize. People don't realize the scope or the magnitude of certain entities with which they want to do business, but they also don't recognize the risk that they're taking on themselves, because this person can be tied to a type of illicit activity that can even implicate you, and you're just someone wishing to do simple business with this person, for example, money laundering, which many people find themselves innocently becoming a part of, because as far as they're concerned, they were just receiving money for a transaction. All of a sudden now you end up getting more than what you initially wanted to sell something for, and then the person's contacting you back saying, I think I sent you a little bit too much, can you send me it back? And then that's exactly how it starts. That money just starts rotating in that way. And in your mind, you were just helping someone get back their money. But now, you're an innocent accomplice.
I could see how this could be helpful if, for example, we've been doing a lot of reports on land scams as well. And I could see how this could be helpful if somebody gives you an offer that maybe seems too good to be true on a parcel of land, whether it's 1 acre or 10 acres, and they're telling you, hey, we have everything in order, you just need to make a deposit, make an initial deposit, 10% deposit, $10,000, right? And then you continue making deposits without doing your due diligence. But if you make that first deposit and you realize that something's up, you could reach out to Compliance U, correct?
You absolutely can. And speaking on the same thing that you were discussing, one of the issues that people were facing were that they were being offered transactional land by entities who weren't even the actual person they were claiming to be. You could see there were certain instances in the past where people were even claiming to be ministers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this is exactly the point. Like, I feel like one of the first questions that people need to ask themselves is this too good to be true? Like, you know what I mean? A little skepticism does help.
Yeah, but I don't know where us being so gullible comes from, because I think we've all gotten some message of sorts in our inbox saying, hey, did you hear that you won $50,000?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are some people that believe it. I mean, I even think about those larger search engines that all of a sudden try to tell you that you won a cruise or something like that. Where does the being gullible come from?
Without stepping on toes, I want to say that it's a combination of three things that I've observed throughout the years. The first thing being, it's kind of a generational thing, no offense or anything like that, you know what I mean? Being born in the technological realm, you kind of grow up already understanding certain things, already understanding about the threats to security when it comes to internet or when it comes to digital communication. People from back in the day, they tend to be a little bit more trusting with stuff like that. Then of course there's also the fact that we're a small country. We kind of thrive on this belief that we smile and everybody know everybody, so that means everybody should be okay with everybody. You know, but in reality, those things just present opportunities for us to be taken advantage of, and people are aware of that. You know, so like I said before, I think it just helps, and it's in everyone's best interest to just be a little bit skeptical or a little bit wary about certain things.
My mind begins to go down a bit of a rabbit hole, but I think there may also be an opportunity here for Compliance U in the relationship market.
Ooh.
I mean, who knows?
Do the background check for me, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in this person, but I don't know.
So how did I tell me right now?
That's a good one, Paul.
Tell me right now that I want to walk up Compliance, you'll be on a best friend. Of
course.
Then I'll be like, hey, you could please don't leave.
Quick thing, but I can't do all the work. I'm too busy, but I need to know at least initially, right?
Yeah, I agree. Let me know if I'm about to go on a date with a psychopath. You know?
Well, maybe that could be something we could recommend to them then.
Yeah, you can have promotions on Valentine's Day.
But Mr. Vernon, once again, remind us how is it that we can get in contact with Compliance U if it is that we want to seek those types of services. I believe 100% that this definitely does fill a gap that needs to be filled. Because we oftentimes don't know who to turn to do some sort of background or get some sort of help. You on a one level, we might try to do our own research, and the most we come up with is a Facebook post that somebody, or a Facebook page, sorry, that somebody has manufactured to look trustworthy and presentable. Or we may call a friend and say, hey, do you know this person? And person might not know much as well. So it definitely fills a gap. Tell us a bit about how we can get in contact, and perhaps the process of the service, like what happens once we call them.
All right, so first of all, I just want to acknowledge something that you said when you talked about how people would take it upon themselves to do something. The truth is, albeit small, I think it's still important that they at least try, that you at least try, because you're at least making an effort to try to protect yourself from malpractice, right? Now, everyone works extremely hard for their top dollar, right? And days aren't getting any easier. We're becoming more and more protective of what little we make and what little we have, and that's very important. And so I would urge viewers to reach out to Compliance U. They have a Facebook page, and you can also reach out to them at their phone number, 634-4167, and you can ask them about the different services that they provide, and they'd be more than happy to even walk those interested through the process of what they would need or what they would require to be able to delve further into different entities with which they want to do business.
All right. Well, Robin, thank you so much for stopping by and having this conversation with us. It was absolutely important, and I think, well, I'm hoping that our viewers were able to get something from it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into Fisherfolk Month. Stay with us.
That sounds interesting.
We'll be right back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
The Ministry of Blue Economy and Disaster Risk Management, in partnership with the National Adaptation Plan Global Network Secretariat, will be hosting the second Blue Economy Climate Resilience Forum and Fair on June 6th and 7th. This year's theme is linking science and livelihoods towards climate resilience for the coastal zone and fisheries sector of Belize. Come and take part in presentations relating to climate change and national adaptation and mitigation initiatives, the use of scientific knowledge to enhance resilience, and how men and women in our community can positively impact our coastal zone and fisheries sector. On day 1, June 6th, the Blue Economy Forum will provide a platform for NGOs, academia, and private citizens to present your plans, projects, and national initiatives at the Belize Biltmore Plaza from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. On day 2, June 7th, the Blue Economy Fair takes place at the Fisheries Compound on Princess Margaret Drive, where stakeholders such as NGOs, fisherfolk organizations, and MSMEs will showcase their booths. There will also be lots of raffle giveaways. Everyone is invited to the second Blue Economy Climate Resilience Forum and Fair on June 6th and 7th.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get store-wide discounts on selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, Benny's. Benny's, Benny's.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements, and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Thank you for sticking with us. Welcome back to our second conversation for this morning. It's all about Fisherfolk Month, which will be celebrated, it's being celebrated actually, under the theme Leave No One Behind in Building an Enabling Environment for Our Small-Scale Artisan Fisheries. And on set with us we have Ms. Desiree Arzu, who is the Communications Coordinator at the Wildlife Conservation Society, as well as Ms. Felicia Pelayo, who is the Media Relations and Communications Specialist at the Belize Tourism Board. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, lovely people. As I was mentioning earlier, it seems coincidence that they have you guys with hazel eyes hosting the show.
And what do we say? He has hazel eyes.
But it's good to be here.
It
Thank
is
you
a
guys
pleasure.
for having us. We're doing our media rounds, so we were on other media during the course of last week and the week before, promoting our activities for Fisherfolk Month. You might be wondering why Felicia is here from the BTB and we're talking about Fisherfolk Month, but the BTB has been supporting us with these initiatives and activities for quite some time. They've supported Reef Week activities, and now they're also once again supporting us for Fisherfolk Month, so we're happy to have them on board.
I know that, and it's a pleasure having both of you ladies, I know that the month of June is celebrated annually as Fisherfolk Month, or Fisherfolks are recognized a bit more in June, though they're recognized throughout the year with all of the initiatives and all the programs and assistance, etc. Let's talk a bit about the focus on Fisherfolks and why it's important to zone in to their work and what they do and how they contribute to nation.
Yeah, well, you know, most of we like with seafood, right?
Oh, I love it.
Kongs fritters, Kong soup, you know, Kong ceviche, fish, lobster. The lobster season opens next month, and a lot of times we underestimate the work that goes into catching this seafood. Prior to working in conservation, I did not know that it took so much from fishers to plan their outing when they go to sea to fish, having to buy their fuel, having to buy their oil, having to prepare their food, and being out at sea for so long, and the challenges that come when they get out at sea, because there's illegal activities happening out there as well, and challenges can come by nature in terms of the weather, and it can also come by other individuals who might pose a threat to them and put them in danger. So we must recognize that it takes a lot for these folks, both men and women, and that's the reason why we say fisher folks. At one point we used to say fishermen, but men and women. So it's important for us to recognize that it takes a lot to source seafood, not just for our tables, but also for restaurants where we go to have it to eat, for our economy, because it plays a vital role in our fisheries industry. Honing in on these fishers every year during the month of June is just a small way we can say to them, thank you for what you do. Thank you for providing for us. And if you speak with fishers right now, you're going to hear most of them saying that they're spending so much, right? They're spending so much to go out there to try and source the seafood for us, but then the returns are not as good as it was probably 10, 20 years ago. So it's getting really hard for them. So it's only right that we recognize them during the month of June.
I 100% agree. I think sometimes we take for granted the work that goes into the type of job that they do, the type of service that they provide. We don't necessarily have to go out there. We go to the fish market, and all we do is pay our money and get the fish. And we go home, we cook it, we enjoy it as a family without really thinking about the type of work that these men and women have to put in out there, the amount of hours they have to be out there to bring this food, seafood to the shores, but yet we expect it to be there every time we go out there. What are some of the activities or events prepared or planned for the month to honor and celebrate our fisher food?
So there are several activities that we have, and one of the things that we did this year, Robin and Paul, is that, and Belizeans listening and watching, is that we worked with other organizations, other partners that also do work for fishers and with fishers to find out what are some of the activities that they are having during the course of June, and we included those on our calendars. So if you look at the calendar that we sent, you're gonna see activities, for example, from Blue Ventures, from Mar Alliance, from the Turnif Atoll Sustainability Association, from the Ministry of Blue Economy and Disaster Risk Management. It's not just WCS activities, because I mean, the planning committee is not just WCS either. It's also made up of individuals from the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM, from the Fisheries Department, from the CNFO, which is the Caribbean Network of Fishery Organizations, and also for the past 2 years we've been including the actual fishers as a member of the Wabafo Fisher Association from Dengriga, is also part of that planning committee. So you're going to see activities from these organizations, but I just want to highlight two of the big activities that we really look forward to every year is the Women in Fisheries Forum, which comes up on the 17th and 18th of June, and that's where women from all segments of the value chain, we call it, in fisheries, are at this forum to talk about some of their challenges and their experiences, because women have different experiences from men. And when we talk about fisheries and women, it's not just the fishers, it's also those scrapers, the ones who work in the cooperative, even those who are at the administrative level, like the head of NGOs. How do we all work together as women at different levels to make this a good industry? So we have the Women in Fisheries Forum, and this year is a very special year for that forum. I hope that Channel 5 will be there to cover it, because we're going to be having the first ever, and I don't know if I should say this, but
say it.
But yes, the first ever formation of a Women Fisher Association.
Wow.
That is a historic, and it's the women that asked for this. So that's going to happen on the 17th and 18th of June, and we're going to be down south doing that. And then one of the next big activities that we have every year is the Fisher of the Year Award.
Yes.
The call for nominations opened on the 3rd, which was yesterday, and it stays open until I believe the 20th of June, where you can nominate your fisher that you think deserves this title. There are stipulations, but you can reach out to myself at drzu@wcs.org for a nomination form, and then we also have a segment, like for the younger people who prefer to do a video, you can do a video as well and submit it, no more than 2 minutes. So outside of that, we have several other activities, but those are two I wanted to highlight on this year's program.
I want to get Ms. Felicia in the conversation really quickly, because she's here representing the Belize Tourism Board. And I think it goes without saying that the fisheries sector industry serves a greater purpose than just consuming fish. There are sporting fishing activities. There are ways that we use also fish for jewelry. Let's talk about the importance of having tourism be a part of this conversation as we celebrate Fisherfolk Month.
Definitely. I think I've learned a lot in what Ms. Desiree shared in the past couple of minutes than I had known before. For us at the BTB, part of promoting Belize as a sustainable tourism destination is definitely providing support to the people on the ground, and those are the NGOs, those are the fishing communities. The fishing industry is definitely a significant part of the tourism industry, and there is no way to promote a sustainable tourism industry without promoting sustainable fishing practices. We've definitely seen a move over the years with the type of travelers that are coming to Belize. They're looking for sustainable experiences. We definitely see that the sports fishing industry is becoming a huge part of the draw for tourists to come to Belize as well. We're seeing Grand Slams, we're seeing a lot of new fishing events happening across the country now. For us, definitely the seafood is a big part of the attractiveness of our gastronomy. That's something that Belize is getting a lot of attention for, our creativity with our seafood, the sustainable practices. We know there are programs such as I think it's a Fish Right, Eat Right program that promotes sustainable fishing as well. For us also, by supporting National Fisherfolk Month, we're looking to support the people who are often the first in seeing what's going on in our oceans. You know, they're the first persons out there that are seeing any changes, any negative impacts that's happening. There's also this big culture in Belize, this big maritime heritage that we have. The knowledge that our fisher folks have, a lot of that is traditional knowledge that's been passed through the generations, and I think that deserves recognition in itself.
That's true.
Very much, you know, a lot of people don't wake up and think, I want to be a fisher. It's a part of
their family.
It's a part of their family. It's
That
been
is
in
true.
generations. It's been something that, you know, they've been exposed to from when they were growing up. And I think a lot of times that's not often recognized. So for us, we do want to support the activities that the different partners are having. Also in the month of June for us, there is World Oceans Day. So we have Fisherfolk Month, which is a more national celebration, and World Oceans Day, which is a global celebration. And for us, we are always promoting the Belize Barrier Reef as this grand attraction, but it's also a part of our marine ecosystem that we need to protect. And it's interconnected. You need a healthy fishing industry to have a healthy, you know, marine ecosystem. For us last year for World Oceans Day, which is June 8th, so it's right here, this weekend, we had launched the Reef with a Beef campaign, social media campaign. And for us, that was a way to create awareness by having our barrier reef be the voice of a social media campaign and promoting, you know, why we need to take care of our marine resources, why we shouldn't be littering, why we should be having sustainable fishing practices. It's still very much an active campaign. There is an Instagram account, a Twitter account that people can go and follow, and you will hear our barrier reef basically trash talking in a fun and engaging way, but also creating awareness. So that's what we did last year during the month of June, and this year we will be having a small cleanup activity led by BTB staff in Belize City, and that's also again to bring awareness about why we need to protect our oceans. So for us, we definitely see that interconnectedness between the fishing industry and the tourism industry.
I appreciate what you're saying, because what you're showing is that there is a space where tourism and conservation can coexist. Talk a bit, if you would, about the BTB's philosophy where that is concerned, the coexistence of tourism and conservation.
Yes, definitely that's something that we saw really took off after the pandemic, that moved towards sustainable travel, sustainable tourism. And a big part of that starts right here at home with protecting our natural resources, whether it's terrestrial or marine. There is an impact that one has on the other. So for us, we very much try to support initiatives like National Fisherfolk Month. We definitely try to support the work that our partners, that these NGOs are doing on the ground. We very much try through our own campaigns, the Civic Pride campaign, for example, to encourage Belizeans to do our part, and also to recognize that there's individual actions that do affect our larger ecosystems. We see that Belize is very much being recognized as a leader in sustainability. And this year we're hosting the first World Sustainable Travel and Hospitality Awards. It's an inaugural awards, but Belize was chosen as the host destination for this awards that's being hosted for the first time in the world because of the conservation efforts, because of the sustainable tourism efforts that Belize was doing really before sustainable tourism, responsible tourism became buzzwords. And a lot of that was already being done on the ground by the NGOs in Belize.
Do you think that tourists are interested in where their fish comes from and how it is fished?
Definitely.
Where in terms of, did you guys take this out of a protected area, or were you actually in a zone that is meant for fishing when you got this, and the type of practices that you use, is that something you think tourists care about?
Definitely. On a whole, we're seeing that visitors and travelers, they're looking for authentic experiences. They're looking to support local economies. They're looking to enjoy local products. And Belize is lucky where we very much have those farm to table or sea to table type of experiences where we can say, you know, this fish was caught in this particular area, prepared fresh here. And people want to be a part of those experiences. They want to learn more. So definitely.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Ms. Arzu?
I agree with Felicia, because when we did the Fish Right, Eat Right program that she spoke about earlier, it's we're no longer doing it, but it's still an initiative that makes sense. That was one of the things that many of the restaurants that we worked with mentioned, that the tourists who come to Belize are looking for, like she rightly said, that authentic experience, and they do want to know where their seafood comes from. So that was part of the idea behind the Fish Right, Eat Right initiative. But I just want to hone in on one thing that Felicia mentioned earlier in regards to fishers not planning to fish, but it being something traditional and within themselves. Now, the word, if you notice this year's theme, there's a word in the theme, artisanal, and that's basically saying that these men and women are skilled at what they do. So, for example, and I say this on every show that I go on, this is what I've learned since I'm in the conservation field, that fishers have particular bait, special bait that they use to catch special species, and they know where to go to catch these special species. So you'll have fisherman or fisherwoman tell you, when the others are saying no fish not there, and they say fish there, and they know exactly where to go.
They're using the wrong bait.
And this is something that they acquired over the years. So their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers have been fishers for so long. They acquired this skill. Fisherman and fisherwoman, I tell you, when the weather look one certain way, you can't go fish, or if this is going to happen, you not have the number of fish that you expect to catch. So that's one of the reasons we want to recognize these folks, because the knowledge that they have, a regular John public or Jane public cannot have unless you're in that field for so long and you learned it over the years.
I want to look at the month that is chosen to recognize fisherfolk. Is there a particular reason why we are celebrating them in the month of June?
That's a very good question. The 29th of June every year is Caribbean Fisherfolk Day. So we try to organize activities to coincide with that day. And a couple years ago, the lobster season was extended, the closure was extended to the end of June, so it's only right even more that we have it in this month, because the fishers are getting prepared to go out to sea at the beginning of July. So for example, you'll see one of the activities as a blessing of the boat that comes towards the end of June, because they're preparing to get their ice, get all their stuff and go out to sea, so that when the season starts, they're all prepared. So, but the main reason is that Caribbean Fisherfolk Day is on the 29th of June, so we do the month to coincide with that day.
And I want to also touch on this year's theme, which is Leave No One Behind in building an enabling environment for our small-scale artisanal fisheries.
And again, the theme coincides with the celebration of Caribbean Fisherfolk Day. It's a theme that that the FAO, usually if you look at the FAO guidelines, you will see some of the highlights of what they expect to happen within the fisheries industry. And like I said, for the women in fisheries particular, we want to include women, because for a long time they have been excluded and their input in the fisheries industry has gone unnoticed. So the theme represents something that we don't want to leave anyone behind. We want to include everyone if we're saying we're building the fisheries industry.
How have we seen women's participation in fisheries grow over the years? Just because, like you rightly said, when we talk about fishing, we usually think fisherman.
Yeah.
Fisherman. Even the saying go, fisherman no say fish stink. Never say fisherwoman no say fish stink, right? And that's our old time saying. And so the focus on women in fisheries is welcome.
Yes.
But how have we seen it grown over the years? Because even when you go to fish market, it's mainly men you see as well.
Yeah. So with that question, I want to mention here before I respond to it, that when people think about fishers, from today moving forward, don't think about just the people who go out to sea and throw their lines or throw their nets or
the person
go
actually
diving.
catching the fish.
Yes.
Though you do have women out there that
Who do
does
that. Yes, but don't just think about those people. Think about the ones who scrape the fish when you go to Conchel Bay and you need your fish scraped. Who are the people you see scraping? Many times they are women. Think about the people in the cooperative who do the packaging of these products. Think about women like us who are at a level where we help to steer legislation to protect fishers. So I think that's one, to answer your question, that would be something that would have been or is improving in Belize, because like I said, for the first time ever, we're having the formation of the Women Fisher Association in Belize, and it is these women that have asked for this. There are women, for example, in Sartaneja who are wives of fishers who have also contributed because they have opened, for example, like small Airbnbs. So they have, to go back to tourism, they have their little an extra room in their own building for tourists. When they come, they can stay there and get this authentic local experience. There are women who make jewelry from lionfish, from the scale or the fins of the lionfish. There are women who do other things that might not be directly fisheries, but it's contributing to the fisheries industry. So moving forward, I would like for people to think about things like that when they think about the fisheries industry, not just fishers going out and fishing, but also contributing.
And that's why I mentioned that when I was bringing Felicia in the conversation, because when we think of the fisheries industry, we oftentimes just think of throwing that line and catching that fish. But it's much, much beyond that at this point. We even have women taking part in sporting fishing activities. But I want to go back to the conversation of sustainable fishing and the collaboration with our fisher folk individuals. And I'm talking from the individuals catching the fish to the persons taking part in more commercial fishing, sporting fishing and whatnot, and even the persons involved in jewelry making. Do we see the collaboration and the understanding from our fisher folk on the importance of fishing sustainably?
You want to take that?
I think you could speak a bit more to that.
Collaboration in what sense?
Do you believe that they understand the importance of fishing sustainably and how it impacts them, and of course Belize in a broader aspect?
I think many of them do, but like with everything else, we still have to continue our work, because there are incidents where you have some fishers, for example, you guys have had it on the news where there are some fishers who fish outside the season, they're caught with illegal conch or they're caught with illegal products. So it's not something that it's not a one-time approach to conservation or sustainability. You can't come on, open your eyes once every year, every June, and say this is what should happen, and then don't keep the conversation going or the engagement and education going. So there are fishers who genuinely care about the environment and are doing what they should be doing to conserve it. And then, like with everything, you have those who are, but to answer your question, I think overall we have been making strides, and more positive stuff have been happening than negative. So we can't stop the work, and it's collaboration like what we're doing here with BTB and other entities that will help us to reach our goals, because definitely WCS cannot do it on its own. The BTB cannot do it on its own. It has to be a collaborative approach, and I'm sure you guys have heard those words so many times with different things, but seriously, it takes a village to get it done.
Yeah, I think it's gradual transformation through information sharing and understanding. It's not easy to break traditional practices, but as we are more informed and as we're more exposed to different data and information, because technology is advancing, then we begin to understand the impacts some of our practices have on our environment, but as well as the good practices that we have. Just to kind of wrap up the conversation, I want to go back to the nominations for the Fishers of the Year. Walk us through one more time the process. How is it that if I know a family member or a good friend that's out there working in any part of the chain.
Yes.
How is it that I can get them nominated, and who decides at the end of the day which person is selected?
Very good question. So if you would like to nominate a fisher for the Fisher of the Year award, you must first request the nomination form, because we don't have it online, but you can request at gov.bz. That's isabel.martinez, martinez.gov.bz, or from myself at WCS, darzu at wcs.org. Request the form via email. For those who don't have email, you can visit our office. We're at 1755 Coney Drive, and the Fisheries Department is on Newtown Barracks. Get a copy of the form, fill it out, 250 words for your essay, and there are other things that you need to fill out. For example, the nomination, the name of the person you're nominating, your name, your contact information, how long that person has been fishing, if they have a valid fisher's license, are they part of a cooperative, are they part of a fisher association? What are some of the things that qualify them in that 250-word essay? What are some of the things that qualify them to be Fisher of the Year? If you prefer, do a video. Do the same thing via a video, because you know the young people, they prefer for video. We don't want to write nothing.
Right.
So do a video, 2
minutes.
minutes max, and do the same thing. But the only thing is, if you're going to be doing your video in your first language, whether that's Spanish, Garifuna, whatever it is, we need an English translation. In terms of there are certain criteria that the committee who does the judging look for when we're scoring. So there are points allotted to different segments. We can't say all that right here, but we do, if people ask for a copy of the scoring sheet, we do provide them with that. But there are certain criteria, we award points, and there are different members on this committee who do the judging, and then at the end of the day, we have the award, which will be this year on the 27th of June at 10 a.m. at UWI. So we're going to be awarding a Fisher of the Year and 2 outstanding fishers.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Ladies, I'll give you this final opportunity to share your last words.
You could go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to encourage everybody to tune in to the BTB page on June 8th. We do have a special initiative that we hope to be back here during the month of June to talk about. So last year we launched Reef with a Beef. This year we have a new initiative to launch. So.
Reef with a beef.
And I just want to mention here quickly, Hamanasi has been also a part of our Fisherfolk Month every year. So big up Hamanasi, of course, the BTB, Elvis Kitchen in San Pedro, the Belize Audubon Society, the Ministry of Blue Economy and Disaster Risk Management, and Wabafo, Blue Ventures, CRFM, the Nature Conservancy. I must say they are actually our biggest sponsors. Every year they give a good sum of cash for the Fisher of the Year award. So in the Fishers, they collect $3,000 a Fisher of the Year. It's from the TNC. So thanks to all of you for helping to make Fisherfolk Month a success every year. And to the general public, find a fisher, tell them thank you, but you can do even better than that. Nominate the person that you think should be awarded the Fisher of the Year this year, and do your part in helping to recognize them for the month of June and throughout. Thank you.
Excellent. Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by, sharing with us all the information we need to know on how to celebrate Fisherfolk this month, and of course this year by extension.
Thanks for having us.
All right. All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, it's probably one of my favorite segments coming up. That's because it's the countdown to Mango Fest 2024. Stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "For we are laborers together with God." The secret to living in a successful society is learning to link your life up with others. Once a famous organist was to give several concerts using an old-fashioned pump organ. The bellows of the organ had to be pumped by hand, so the organist hired a young boy to stand behind the organ and pump while he played. After the first concert, the boy said to the organist, "We played good tonight." "What do you mean, we?" "I was the one who played, not you," replied the organist. When the organist sat down to begin the next concert, no sound came out of the organ. It suddenly dawned on him that there was no air in the bellows. The organist whispered to the boy behind the organ, "Pump." The boy responded in a whisper, "Say we." When you find a great church, a great school, a great country, a great athletic team, a great band, you will discover that it is not just because of its leader, but because of the people behind the leader who have learned the secret of cooperation. Link your life to others, and most importantly to Jesus Christ, who wants your life to have purpose. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Show your love in a special way with our crazy discounts and promotions. At Cellular World, we've got everything for you, so you can spoil your mom without breaking the bank. Make Mother's Day a day she'll never forget when you gift her an Android phone starting as low as $115 or Samsung phones starting at only $349, fully backed up by a 1-year local warranty. We also have bundles like getting 2 Alcatel Android phones for just $199, tablets starting at just $155, TVs as low as $439, plus the all-new Logic, Infinix, and Tecno smartphones, now available countrywide. So what are you waiting for? Come on down and find a perfect gift to make your mom feel extra special. Don't miss out on this opportunity to show your mom just how much she means to you. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations in Belize City, Belmopan, San Pedro, and Orange Walk, or shop via our virtual store on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 615-5141.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez, Brittany Gordon. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate your lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez, Brittany Gordon. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Welcome back, guys. As you can see there, it is the moment we've all been waiting for, Paul. Well, at least I've been waiting for. We're having our final segment this morning, and it's all about the countdown to Mango Fest 2024.
Exciting stuff, Sabrina.
I think if anyone would know, based on last year and probably the year before, they would know that mangoes are my favorite fruit. I think it's like the most elite fruit of all.
You think so?
Of course, I know so, Paul. I was even telling the guys here that if I go out from this world, I would want to die by consuming a mango. Not a green one, a ripe one. But we're here talking about mango, the countdown to Mango Fest. And of course, we have two guys here with us talking to us about what we can expect. I have here beside me Trudy Joseph, and she is the consultant for Mango Fest 2024. And to her right is Benedict Zuniga, and he is our bartender this morning. Also talking about Mango Fest 2024. Guys, thanks so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Like Ben says, we're all excited. So
I know, we're all excited.
Excitement.
Now, as we already spoke about mangoes being the elite fruit, let's talk about why mangoes are probably so special. What is it about mangoes that a lot of people you think love? The expert.
Well, I was born and raised in Hopkins, and I grew up eating a lot of mangoes.
Yeah.
So for me, I think when the mango season starts, I'm always excited. The sugar in it, the flavor, because each mango have a different flavor and a different taste. So,
what's your favorite mango?
I actually planted a mango tree at my family yard, and it's one of the best mangoes that I've actually liked, and it's Tandasha. So
what's it called?
Tandasha. The Tandasha.
Tandasha?
Yeah, Tandasha.
Tandasha?
That's local,
Tandasha?
yeah. So,
Tandasha, what mango is that?
This one right
Oh, we
here.
have it here.
Oh, we have it here. Okay.
I actually brought a few of them.
Is that like a long, it's like a long?
I feel like I've had that type of mango before, but I never heard the name.
So what normally happens is that it's the last one in the season to get ripe.
Okay.
But this year is actually different. It's getting ripe along with the rest of the mangoes.
Tanna
So
shell.
that's the reason why we have a couple of them, you know, that I brought.
And,
So-
and is it just the flavor of it, or is it because the texture is a lot better than, for instance,
So-
like the hairy mango and
Yeah,
whatnot?
so like I said, like all the mangoes have different flavor and texture.
Mhm.
So for me, that's my favorite.
You know, I have an issue, my brother, because while I experience different textures in mango, I have a hard time experiencing different tastes in mangoes, and that's just for me. For me, like it's yellow, it's ripe, it's sweet, and yes, you got some that the texture is a bit different. Just some thicker, some's a bit more hairier, some's a bit more mushier. So yes, but in terms of the taste,
they all taste the same to you?
so, yeah, so how do I get a better experience? What do I need to do?
So I think that the sugar in the mango is different. It's on a different level.
So I should
Some of
study
them
that
are
more.
sweet. Yeah, some of them are sweeter. Some of them is just like, you know, you can taste the flavor but not too much sugar. So it does.
Paul will just have you do a blind taste test.
I think so too. I think that's a great idea.
That's
a great idea.
That's
Hopefully we can do something like that actually.
That's a part of the activities that will be taking place this weekend.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, I remember you guys being here on set last year talking about Mango Fest in Hopkins. Let us go back to that a bit. What was that experience like?
Last year was phenomenal. Last year was actually a 2-day event. This year it's down to just 1 day. And a lot of people are stopping and asking why. Because some people may not be available on a Saturday and they prefer the Sunday. But now what we want to do is to pack everything into 1 day. Come on down. If you can't make it in the morning, come in the evening, because it's basically from 10 in the morning until 10 in the evening. And so instead of trying to figure if you missed something the day before, you know that as long as you're there on Saturday, you will be able to experience all of the activities.
This is in Hopkins.
It's in Hopkins Village. It's going to take place right in front of the church. Everyone knows the fairgrounds is right in front of the church. They have 55 confirmed vendors. Wow. 55.
Wow. Why is it that Hopkins hosts this event on an annual basis?
Well, as Ben said, if you ever visit Hopkins during this time, all you see are mangoes around every single corner, the
mosquitoes
yard.
must be brutal.
Every yard has mangoes.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So is has that been like a long-standing thing where mangoes are grown all across Hopkins, or was it like recent that people started to grow mango trees because they loved it so much?
People realized that there were so many mangoes. People came from other parts of the country, like Dangriga, where I'm from, to go to Hopkins to go get their bucket of mangoes. Because as Ben may know, I mean, growing up around so much mangoes, you really don't even want to eat it. You have two and you're done for the season. What?
You actually get enough of
Wow.
it.
So is it something that you saw from generations past? Like your parents would tell you, hey, we've had mango trees from my parents' days.
So back then in my yard we have 4 mango trees. So we have the Tandasha, number 11 here in Mango. And all right, so we have 2 trees here, mango trees. So number 11 and the Tandasha. That the only one was still survive.
So then they have to go in now, nearby yard with thief mango. Everybody.
And I think if you have it in abundance in that way, I don't even think people are like, hey, you take a mango off of a tree.
Yeah, people don't do
no
that.
one really
Yeah,
cares.
people don't do that.
Unless you only have one mango tree and it only bears like 20 mangoes. Then of course, I saw that a mango is missing.
So,
but we do,
yes.
we do want to make some drinks here this morning.
The puree that I make is actually out of the Tandasha, so that just straight juice.
This is like a juice. Rich, thick. Yeah.
Wow.
Look at
Our
that.
producer is saying. All right. So what do we?
Nothing added to that.
Do you use this to make something?
Yeah, of course. With everything, like everything where I make that with
All
mango
right.
flavor.
So what will you make for us? And you can begin the process while we ask Miss Trudy some more questions about this weekend.
I'll do a spicy mango margarita. I'll do a regular one. So then I'll do mango tango, mango fizz. You know, a few drinks.
All right. So where do we start? Let's get right into it. Because we don't have our morning. So which one are you gonna start with?
So let's do the spicy mango margarita first.
Spicy
This is
mango
actually going to be my
margarita.
special out there on Saturday. So.
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
All right.
So we're going to begin with the puree.
Yeah. And the lime juice.
This?
Yeah, fresh lime juice.
Ooh, lovely.
Lime and mango.
Everything fresh.
All right. So while he gets that going, tell us a bit more of what can be expected at this weekend's Mango Fest.
Okay, great. Thanks so very much. So first thing I want to say is that it's being hosted by the Hopkins chapter of the BTIA, and this year it's an all-female organizing crew.
Wow,
Right?
congratulations on that. That's amazing.
And like I'd mentioned before, there are 55 confirmed vendors. So as many of you would have seen on the screen, it is that tequila all the way on the left.
Guys, it's only 8:12.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Wow.
So as many of you would have seen on the screen, like last year, the entire stretch was filled with a lot of different vendors. So you will have persons doing food, you'll have a lot of arts that actually promotes like the utilization of mango. There are skincare products as an example. And so the whole theme naturally is mango. So even pizza, you'll have mango and pizza.
That I can get behind.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Even this, yeah,
Mango,
definitely.
mango flavored ice cream. And so like I said, it's all about exploring your palate. And so again, Paul, if it is that you're so focused on...
Yeah, let's give that this moment of shine.
He literally put one of this in there.
That's jalapeno.
Yeah, he put half of this in it.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's a
It's
spicy
tequila.
mango.
Just leave that there to blend. That looks good. It's really nice. It's a lime?
Yeah. For garnish.
Yeah. So you're cutting the lime, getting it ready. Is this something you do often, Ben? Are you a bartender by trade?
100% bartender.
Are you? Okay.
What?
Certified mixologist.
35
Mixologist.
certified mixologist. Where do you work? Do you have like a place or station at this moment?
At this moment, no.
All right, that's okay. So you are telling me if you want to go out and explore your palate, this would be the place to do it for mangoes.
Yes, and remember now with the coastal road being paved, and so it's easier if it is that you're coming from the northern part of Belize for you to be able to get there. And so it's a shorter distance depending on where it is that you're coming from. Like I said, 10 to 10, so there are many activities that you can experience. There are activities for the children also. You'll have mango toss. A lot of you know about the balloon toss or egg toss.
Yeah, mango toss.
Mango toss. There will also be a mango trivia. So a lot of people may want to know how many years Mango Fest has actually been happening. It will be better for you to be able to Google that information and you can participate in the mango trivia. There will also be mango identification, like how many mangoes you can name.
Yeah.
How many mangoes you can identify. So they'll be there, so you already know what the tanda shall look like. Last year when we did it, it was so amazing because for me, I feel like I know enough about mangoes, but some of them look so similar. So that will be something else that will be happening. It will be hosted by Terry Gordon, Terry G on the mic MC, and there will be other activities that will be going on as it relates to entertainment. So we will have Cyrils, he's coming for that event, and we have Sweet Paint 3.0 and other persons as a part of that lineup. Now, like I said, 55 vendors, but I will not list them out. Please come on down and like I said, start from the northern side and walk down to the south side and be able to experience all of that the vendors have to offer.
On average, how many different types of mangoes can be found at a Mango Fest?
Last year we had 16. 16.
Is that good compared to how much we have in Belize? Is that a good number?
I don't know how many mangoes, because
Yeah,
the gentleman
me
that
either.
was helping us out, he says that they're actually fusion mangoes now. So like you take, so all of that.
Okay.
And so again, when you're there, you're going to be able to learn more about what you love so much, mangoes. And so like I said, make your way down there and you'll be able to enjoy what it all is about. Before I forget, this is also a cultural exchange. You know, Ben says right now he doesn't have a resident area that he's working. So, I mean, if it is that you want to hire Ben to be able to be there for you, that's what we were asking. We're selling you, and then now, so he's working at Beaches and Dreams.
Okay, so he is working somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing so much to this drink.
I know.
Like $50.
I'm just here watching in amazement. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you, since this isn't obviously the first mango fest we've seen,
This is it.
but what has been interesting products that you've seen personally made by mangoes and really surprised you?
Well, there's mango wine. The mango ice cream wasn't just like to state like a blended mango. It was more of a blend of other flavors along with the mango, because mango actually has a very strong flavor, correct, Ben?
Correct.
And so it really takes a lot for you to be able to know what to fuse mango with. There was also mango flavored barbecue. And so people did like different sauces, like mango sauces with their barbecue. And so like I said, again, these are great things for you to be able to just go out and be able to experience. You can think it and allow your palate to actually experience it.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, Sabrina, I wanted us to focus in a bit on what has been made. This is spicy
Mango-rita.
Mango-rita, right? What do you need? The coconut? Yeah, coconut. All right, so it's melting sap, so I would advise you to go ahead and try it. And no, he already has a straw. And
All right.
tell me what you think. Or you could put this one on my top.
Okay, great. Thank you.
There's lime, there's mango, there's pepper, jalapeno, a lot. So you're ready for some spice.
All right, guys, so this is my taste test of a spicy mango-rita. Wow, that's spicy.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Let me get a straw.
That is spicy, but it's really, really yummy. There's a kick at the end, actually. I'm sorry. It's spicy.
It is spicy.
But it's really yummy.
But it's sweet as well, the mango. Like you don't miss the mango flavor in it. And then if you have this sweet mango here, so you can just pull it out and take a bite if it gets a bit too spicy.
Yes, yes, it's really good though.
I know a lot of people that would love this and how spicy it is. Oh my gosh, love it. You could just add some salt to this, and you have a perfect spicy margarita.
Yes,
100%.
That is really good. So what else are you making here?
So this is the mango tango.
Oh.
Coconut rum, fresh mango juice, grenadine on the bottom.
Now these are just some of the drinks that you
some of the drinks
are able to make using mangoes. Let's talk a bit about your journey as a bartender and your joy of incorporating mangoes into the drinks that you make.
So I actually bartending for over 12 years. I enjoy it. I'm always willing to learn. So I think that's what's going to push me a little bit farther, my willingness. So. And at work, you know, I interact a lot with my guests. That's one of my biggest roles when I'm at work.
Look at that.
Guys, look at that.
That's a mango
tango.
It's a mango tango.
Paul, you got this?
Yeah, I'll bring it over for Sabrina. She's the official taste tester, and I just follow behind to see if it's true what she's saying.
Okay. All right, here's our other one. This is a mango tango.
Mango tango. It looks good.
Oh, that's good.
You like that one better?
I love that one.
You love
That's
that
good.
one? All
And I
right.
taste the coconut rum in it. It's really good. It pairs well.
It definitely pairs well because it's a tropical blend that you get as well. So back to you, Ms. Joseph. Talk a bit about what it takes to make these sort of events a reality. The sort of collaboration and the effort and all the people behind the scene that makes Mango Fest what it is.
Well, that's an excellent question, and thanks very much for asking. Actually, last year, after Mango Fest was done, it was the planning for this year's Mango Fest. And so a post-mortem was done, and persons were asked to be able to provide their feedback, you know, what it was that they enjoyed, what are the key things that they wanted to change. Well, outside of the heat, we can't help you as it relates to that. The best thing we can do is to tell you that the Caribbean Sea, of course, and Hopkins has such excellent beach. And so it's great for you to be able to just take a dip in the Caribbean Sea and then come back on over. Like I said, the main stage has a lot of activities going on, and people are actually inspired by other activities that other people are doing. So like I said, even though it is that we have been here, there will be other mixologists that will be out there. There is a bartending competition. There is a bartending competition.
And it incorporates mangoes.
Yes, everything is mango.
Okay, yeah, I shouldn't even ask, right?
Think about it and know that there will be mangoes included in that. So even the activities, it's very well thought out. And so the team that's focusing on, let's say, the kids game, they don't want to just do what are just the traditional kids games. They want to make sure that it's also exciting for the children. Lots of games, lots of prizes, lots of excitement for both the children and for the adults. Last year, I do want to mention also that for some of the activities, some of the onlookers actually participated by providing additional prizes.
Ooh,
so
lovely.
let's say it was that there was only first and second place, and then they got all excited.
I have third place.
Yes, so the camaraderie and actually the community spirit, like I said, the whole cultural experience, because it's not just about being in Hopkins and the Garifuna culture. There are many other cultures that are also there and will be represented. So like I said, it's mango, but understanding how it is that it can be infused in many other aspects of our lives.
What I appreciate is that you could have a few drinks from Ben, and then you could jump right into the sea, revive yourself, and come back out and have some food or whatever it is else there, or some entertainment. There is
So what do you
out
have
there.
here? What's
Mango
fizz?
Fizz. No, you go ahead.
Okay.
You're official fizz tester.
Stir it.
And then I'll just verify your taste test.
This is good. This
Is
is
it?
so
Yeah,
refreshing.
it just goes up and up and
This is probably my favorite one. It's just very, very refreshing.
If you make another one, it will be Sabrina's favorite now.
Going to do the regular mango margarita.
Okay.
Okay, this is really good.
It's refreshing.
I appreciate the fizz
Yeah.
that you get from it. You don't normally get fizz with mangoes, so you just get mango juice. So this is good. That fizz in the mango, and then the balance, the mango is not overpowering in this, and I appreciate that so much about this drink. And the white rum as well, you know, it has no flavor.
So with that one, it's I actually do simple syrup and lime juice.
Okay.
It's really good.
So that is.
I love this.
It's not too tangy. It's also not too sweet.
This is so far the best in these. Sabrina.
Yeah,
You
it's
have a
very
taste.
refreshing.
They have a taste.
I have a taste. So you're making now a
The
mango
regular
margarita.
mango, yeah.
What's the difference between that and the mango tango?
So tequila. The rum makes it
Oh, okay.
difference there.
Okay.
And with that, with the mango tango, no lime juice, no simple syrup, but with the margarita, lime juice, simple syrup, because that's the base for it.
So Ben, as you make our final drink, do you have any acknowledgements? Anybody you'd like to thank?
Well, what I'd like to do is to talk about our sponsors. Like you had asked earlier, how do you get to where it is that you want to go? And people see the final product. They don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And so we really want to say thank you to our sponsors. Our diamond sponsor is actually the Belize Electricity Limited. The platinum sponsors are BTIA National, because remember this is from the Hopkins chapter. We have Bowen & Bowen, Jaguar Reef, 4 Flowers Limited. So those are the platinum sponsors. Then gold sponsors, we have Beaches and Dreams, BTB, and Hamanasi. So our silver sponsors, we have Caribbean Treasures. Of course, you can see the wonderful shirt that Ben is wearing, and these will be available for the event. And so we have Driftwood, Loggerheads, Caribbean Rum, Remax, First Choice, and Silkgrass Farms.
Wonderful.
Then we have our brand sponsors, and that's Quality Poultry Express, Brain Freeze Margaritas, Michas, and Running W. So outside of that, there are many other persons that are assisting. We have the Belize Police Force that will be there. We also have the emergency team that will be there. Again, just in the event something may happen and people may need to be rushed. So there is actually an emergency team that will also be out there. But more than anything else, the villagers that have assisted, whether it's just cleaning up the area, because there are a few cleanup campaigns that were happening more recently, because it does happen throughout the year, but more recently for this event. And so, like I said, all of you who wish to make your way to Hopkins, we are looking forward to hosting you. Like I said, Terry G will be on the mic, but there's an entire team that will be there, ensuring that if there's anything that needs to be done, you will have a fabulous time.
Wonderful. And we're here wrapping up with our final drink, and this is the Mango Margarita, not to be mistaken with the Mango Tango.
All right, so what's the difference again? What he said was the difference?
It's a tequila.
It's a tequila, and the Mango Tango had the
coconut rum, which I also really enjoyed.
Yes.
That was probably my second favorite. Yummy!
So this is going to be your absolute favorite, Sabina.
Probably.
This is going to take it to the next level for you.
Probably.
Have you tried mango in so much different types of drinks before in one?
No, I think
the first time?
all I've had so far is the Mango Tango. Probably I've had a mango margarita, but I'm excited to see Ben's take on
So
the
this
mango
is quite
margarita.
the experience.
Of course it is. I welcome
especially as
it.
a mango lover.
Yes. The thing is, I'm not really an alcohol drinker, but I do love mango, so I'll take it in whatever way it comes. Okay.
Okay, straws.
And I do want to say thanks to Channel 5 OIE for hosting us to be able to showcase some of the things that you'll be able to experience drink-wise. And of course, there is the non-alcoholic versions that will also be available. So on behalf of the Hopkins chapter of the BTIA, we do want to say thanks very much. And like I said, we welcome everybody to join us in Hopkins this weekend for a fabulous mango-rific Saturday.
I love that.
Yeah, we thank you too. We wouldn't be able to have these drinks on set if it wasn't for you guys.
Complete? All right. And this is our final drink this morning, guys. It's a mango margarita, or you can call it a mango-rita.
Go right ahead, Sam. How you think? Okay, see,
I don't want to say this is my favorite because you guys already expected it, but I really, really like it.
Should I try it?
You should try it.
I'll try it and then we'll line up the Avengers in front.
I like it. It has that nice sour tanginess to it.
It's the best.
It is.
It really is.
I didn't want to say it.
And before we wrap up, Paul, you're going to be able to try Tandasha.
Let's do it.
You're going to be able to try it. So
let's do it.
Tandasha is one of the few mangoes
You
that
said
tastes
Tandasha.
great. He says it different
Can I
from
try
me.
it too, please?
It tastes great green, it tastes
Ladies
great
first.
turn, and it tastes great ripe. So that's the great thing about this mango.
Tandasha.
Tandasha.
Especially when they're overnight. I pulled in for yesterday morning.
Okay, so it's
I
set.
put up, yeah.
Ready.
They're marinated.
Yeah.
So what should I expect?
Awesomeness.
Sweet.
Okay. Whoa, you really went in there.
You smell it?
Yeah, I've definitely had this before. This is really good.
Good.
But I
That's
didn't know
a
that
good
that was the
mango.
name.
Tandasha. Paul.
Sorry. I really like this mango.
So far, since you like the Tandasha, this
Hey, come on.
Thank you very much. I also love every mango, so I appreciate it all. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. of course, making some drinks with mangoes, just to give us a taste of what we can expect this weekend. Remind us again of the time and, of course, the location that we should travel to.
So Hopkins Village is going to be easy for you to find it. It's right by the church. It's the fairgrounds. It's 10 to 10. So if you make it before then, please feel free, jump into the water, walk around, and enjoy the festivities all day. Like I said, activities galore. You'll be able to eat, you'll be able to drink, you'll be able to relax. And more than anything else, you'll be able to learn more about mangoes. You will leave there knowing a little bit more about mangoes. And make sure you take your bag so you can pick up some mangoes for yourself.
Ooh, lovely, lovely. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We wish you all the best, and we'll see you this weekend.
Of course.
Nice.
All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we wrap things up.
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is to see if the features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MSME Roadshow 2024. Join us for free workshops in marketing using AI, finance, business planning, and customer service. Connect with financial institutions for access to finance opportunities, meet with key government agencies, and showcase your business at the Roadshow Expo in an effort to get more locals to buy Belizean. We will be in Orange Walk Town, June 13th to the 15th, PG, June 27th to the 29th, Corozal, July 11th to the 13th, Benque, July 25th to the 27th, San Pedro, August 15th to the 17th, Key Cocker, August 23rd to the 24th, Belmopan, August 29th to the 31st, Hopkins, September 13th to the 14th, San Ignacio, September 26th to the 28th, Tangriga, October 10th to the 12th, Placencia, October 18th to the 19th, and Belize City, October 24th to the 26th. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Beltrade or call us at 880-3737. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. Let's get your business on the road.
This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
Welcome back, guys, and thanks for sticking with us. We had 3 great conversations, Paul. I'm sure you know what was my favorite, but of course we want to say thank you to all of our guests who stopped by this morning.
Yeah, wonderful conversations indeed. We say thank you to the fisheries folks, thank you to Compliance U, and of course the organizers and our friends from Mango Fest.
Yeah.
It's all been lovely this morning.
Wonderful. Well, we do have to wrap up our show, and it is Tuesday, June 3rd, I believe.
We're in
It is the
June.
3rd.
We are
It's
in
June
June.
4th, actually.
Wow.
So if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. And if you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5police.com. You can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BC, as well as Instagram for behind-the-scenes comments like when Paul just ate that mango at OIE Belize. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow as you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.